Hello, I am Robin Phillips, teacher at Wilson High School and student in IL 705 at the University of North Alabama. And this is my school professional development session developed based on conversations with you, a wonderful group of young teachers, along with our terrific administrators. So thank you for letting me interview you and for being willing to participate in this professional learning activity. The interviews and conversations were extremely informative, and you shared insightful ideas for future PD. Of course, we will not be able to address all the topics that were mentioned, but the topic selected for this session will address goals in three overlapping categories. From the interviews and conversations and observations, three related themes came to light. Teacher busyness. In other words, there is so much to do you may feel like you can never get it all done. Number two, reaching all types of learners. And three, student engagement. So we have three goals: improve time management, reach all types of learners, and increase student engagement. For this session, we will look at three ways to address these goals. The overview of this session is you will be asked to complete three activities now and follow-up activities for reinforcement and for additional learning. So we will start with our first activity, which will address the first goal. The goal is time management and to improve time management. I remember the feeling of being overwhelmed with so many things to do in my first couple of years. I remember feeling like I could not get everything done that needed to be done, and I am not by any means an expert now, but I have learned how to better manage my time. Early in my career, I made it hard on myself, and I still have to guard against this, but it has gotten much easier as I have gained experience. And we want you to have a long and successful career in education if you so desire. So the first activity you do relates to time management. This activity is designed to help you be intentional and proactive instead of passive and reactive. Time management. Pick one area in which you want to improve your time management. Share this with a peer teacher and hold each other accountable. If you are comfortable, post this on the Google Docs team page for additional accountability and update your progress after 1 week. If you are not comfortable posting what you're working on, post a brief reflection on this challenge after 1 week. And I have some additional resources. I would ask you to post a couple of sentences about something significant to you from these good articles: management tips for new teachers and time management tips for educators. Another topic that came from the interviews was how to reach all learners. A theme of reaching all types of learners and increasing student interest also came to light. To address this goal, we will look at formative assessments. According to Brink and Bartz, 2017, an assessment is formative when it is used to adapt or change teaching strategies, curriculum, or both to meet the needs of the students, allowing students to make decisions for themselves, which in turn helps them to meet their learning goals. In addition, Brink and Bartz observed that a teacher can provide each student with specific formative assessment feedback on strengths and weaknesses, utilizing rubrics developed from course objectives. End of quote. Furthermore, teachers in the Brink and Bartz study saw their students becoming, quote, accountable for the role in the use of formative assessments to improve learning. End of quote. Specifically, students work together to help each other based on assessment feedback. Thus, our second goal for this professional learning is to use formative assessments to reach all types of learners. This activity will introduce several types of formative assessments and challenge you to try a formative assessment that is new to you. We will not address how to develop corresponding rubrics in this session, but here is activity number 2. Reach all learners, and we're going to ask you to view the slideshow. The hyperlink is here. 56 different ways to gather evidence of student achievement. And select a new formative assessment to use in your classroom tomorrow. Post the formative assessment you chose. After the lesson, post a brief reflection on the level of involvement of hard-to-reach students during the activity. Answer what evidence of achievement was observed. Finally, we will address a topic I have heard from teachers for years. My interviews and observations led me to seek a method for teaching that would help increase student interest. How can a teacher get students interested in whatever the subject is? While the previous activity helps us in this area by engaging students, we will look at another way to achieve this goal through the utilization of project-based learning, or PBL, in your classes. PBL is an old concept that often gets pushed out due to teachers trying to cover all the standards or thinking they just don't have enough time. Blumenfield and others from 1991 argued that project-based education could, quote, enhance motivation and thought as students attempt to learn in classrooms, end of quote. But through the use of project-based learning, you can reduce your workload by allowing the students to spend more time engaged, which frees you up to give more small group and individualized guidance and help. According to Morales, Bang, and Andre from 2012, in project-based learning, quote, a teacher is assumed to be present to set parameters for projects, to guide students in organizing and operationalizing projects, and to guide students to resources for information and knowledge, end of quote. By serving as a guide to students, the teacher is free to move around the classroom and help students as needed, again enabling the teacher to provide more individualized attention while students work on their project. Additionally, through project-based learning, students can cover multiple standards within each project. So the third activity is this. We will increase student activity and gain information by watching the project-based learning, or PBL, videos that correspond to your age group of students. Post a reflection on the team page, and I have selected a PBL in elementary, middle school, and high school. These videos correspond to these 3 age groups, so choose the one that best fits the ages you teach. And then for additional resources, there is an excellent article, The Power of Standards-Based Rubrics in Project-Based Learning Units. And you can click on the link to access this. And I'd like for you to post a brief reflection. So in review, we have considered time management, the use of formative assessments, and the use of project-based learning, all of which serve to optimize time for teachers and students as well. I hope you will expand your own learning in these areas and build on these ideas to relieve some of your stress for time and increase student engagement for all learners. Post responses to the team page and post comments about the additional resources. Then you can click check back and see other posts. Here are my sources and several links to project-based learning projects. This PBL section has several links that are helpful from PBL work, so I've included hyperlinks here in the PowerPoint. And I thank you for your time and participation, and look forward to hearing your feedback.